Sup shredders, my name is Logan aka Spiderhands and welcome to an SP Members video where today I am going to be checking out, if I'm not incorrect. This is the band Wands and the track is titled Before the World Ends. And if we switch over to here, we actually have the live performance on the screen. Whenever I do live performances like this, there's a 50-50 chance that this will get copyright blocked immediately, so there is a chance that you may be watching this with an image on the screen. I apologize if that is the case. It's not something I would personally prefer to be there, but it's what it is. So as this track has been suggested by people who have joined the YouTube channel for a monthly subscription of like $6 US or something like that, and as well as being able to vote on videos like this. It's very likely that if you were to join, you'd be able to choose the next video once you become an SP member. You also get stuff like, for instance, there's a very strong chance that I will be doing SP members only fan requests very soon, once per month, just because I'm reconfiguring a few things on the page. At this point in time, you would absolutely get your song chosen for a fan request, for the SP members fan request anyways. And also SP members get a priority pick in the queue once a month for these fan requests. So yeah, there's lots of benefits to it, especially if you've got songs you'd like me to hear but you don't necessarily want to commit to the SP patron thing, which I do via my Patreon. But anyways, we're going to get through this track from start to finish. We're going to hear what you think. Let's go. Thank you to the SP members for their choice for this week. I love this song. I'm so glad to be able to check it out as part of a review like this. I'm familiar with this track. It's very nostalgic for me, so thank you for this choice. Great phrasing there with that solo. Dude, is he the one who actually sung it? Like, is he legitimately the vocalist who sung it? That is so wild. It's so cool. This is the value of a live performance, man. You get to see who's actually behind it, right? I'd say that's probably a teleprompter there in front. Not necessarily for this dude, but I'd say for other musicians, you know? Again, like, I'm going to review this like I would a typical track. It's just that I'm also very familiar with it. So I might... Don't worry if I'm not like, wow, holy crap, this is ridiculous, this is phenomenal. I'm still utterly enjoying myself. Oh, that's actually probably a lighting machine, actually. That's probably a lighting machine. But yeah, it does sound like the studio recording. Damn, this is nostalgic. I'm getting chills listening to this, Again, like, the instrument performances are absolutely top notch here. Really interesting drum parts here going on with that bass line being foundational. Again, that guitar solo at the beginning was like iconic, and just the rhythm and lead at the moment are syncing so well with the harmonies that are going on with the vocals here, as well as the melodies in the verse. It's a great overall live performance so far. It carries really well between both the studio and the live environment, and that's testament to the songwriting, arrangement, and production. Oh, that showmanship. Look at that guitarist there, dude. Nice call and response between the vocalist and the lead. Dude, that tremolo work. Oh my goodness, it's wild, man. Nice rhythm with the crowd as well. I can see them waving their little sticks. Again, really simple percussion, but it's just so effective at keeping that groove. Because again, the drummer is pocketing. He knows he's not the focal point, so he just kind of lets everyone else, kind of helps him along. Bah. It's more confident in this part. They did well with the first one, but they just sound like they're more into it at this point. They're in a state of flow. I know it sucks me doing that just because I know it's out of tune with the Bluetooth stuff, so I try not to sing because of that. But it's impossible to not hum along to it. It's such a dope vocal melody and harmony, I mean. Solo time. People are so hyped for the solo. The feel on there. Good job singing, man. Oh, dude, I got chills from that. Just, it was such a tuneful solo. He had the opportunity to just shred up an absolute storm there, but the guitarist was like, no, we just need to keep it nice and respectful. A good rule of thumb when you are a guitarist doing lead stuff, and this is something I learned far too late in life, is to go at the pace of the vocalist. If you keep a similar pace to the vocalist, there's a nice sense of chemistry there, and it looks like you're respectful of one another. If the vocalist increases, though, in like energy, and they do like vocal runs and all that kind of stuff, you can probably keep up with that, you know? There's situations where direct contrast works really well, but if you're going for a smoothness with a vibe, you don't want to cut too much against the tides, you know? The guy who taught me that was an absolute prick, and I really don't like him, but that was a one piece of advice that he gave in a far less respectful way that nonetheless made sense. That's why it's important to listen to criticism, you know? Great job with this outro solo as well. Yeah, no complaints whatsoever. Splendid performance. Yeah. I'm well pleased with that. Thank you again to SP members who recommended that I check this out today. I don't really feel like with a song like this, I need to tell people why it's good. Do you know what I mean? I don't really know what the point of me trying to say, yo, you know, like, how do I say without sounding pretentious? If I was to assume that I needed to explain it, despite the fact that it's so beloved, it's almost like people just liked it just because it sounded good, and it completely almost patronizes people who have an actual fundamental understanding of how the song works outside of me, you know. Literally, my job, I suppose, is just to reiterate or offer a different, potentially a fresh perspective on it, as someone who is maybe not as deeply affiliated with it. Before the world ends, I'm totally alone. I'm just an empty can thrown away in this giant city. If love is something you would have to discover, that sucks. The first verse is very, very sad. I wish we'd never be separated with the thousands of nights. It's a fleeting wish. So it's looking back and wishing you could go back in time, and it's sad because it's a fleeting thought while you're alone, you know? And then people will seek their answers and they will lose their irreplaceable fortune. Within a city full of greed, not even the stardust and an eye can light us up. Damn, dude. It's very poetic. It's fantastic imagery here. Phenomenal lyrics. Phenomenal lyrics. Before the end of the world, let me listen to the catastrophe which suits the full bloom flower. Everyone has their wish, but they won't believe in eternity, even though they're dreaming for their tomorrow. You know, some of the stuff with catastrophe suits the full bloom flower. It's a little bit confusing for me, but nonetheless, I feel gently optimistic about the fact that I can eventually figure out if I have time. I think Before the World Ends is about someone looking back at how things used to be, being nostalgic for them. Yeah, because I'll get out of this. Hang on. Because this is the conclusion of my review of this track, Before the World Ends by, what was it, Wands? This is my review of the track called Before the World Ends by Wands. Hopefully you enjoyed it as much as I did. I had a fantastic time with it. Again, I didn't feel the need to speak too much about the crucially obvious bits, but obviously this track, I think, again, is about Before the World Ends. It's about looking back at how things used to be and wishing they could be back how they are and just begging for a chance for things to become true. I don't know necessarily whether it's a literal Before the World Ends or like a figurative one, like your world is just getting worse and worse and worse. So before things go absolutely to crap, you know, you're wishing on a prayer, you're hoping on a prayer, the star in the night sky. And I think that's actually a really beautiful concept to talk about. The singing, just before going any further, I think the starriness of the really bright synthy parts and the key parts kind of make it sound like a night sky. And I used to hear that in like a lot of anime backing music and stuff and Foley bits, where like it will be nighttime and you have the sparkles of those synths. And I think just because of parts of the music, I can imagine that being someone looking up the night sky and wishing for things to change. Everything is so well connected within this track and so well thought out. I mean, but to go back from the story to the vocals, just so I go through this and the way I usually do, you know, the vocals are splendid, sensational, especially for a live performance. It's very tuneful, great technique. The harmonies were fantastic as well. Kudos to the lead guitarist for not only being able to shred, but also to help out the main vocalist when they needed in the chorus parts. Lovely vibrato for the main vocalist, and genuinely is passionate about what they're doing. You can see they're putting their full body behind it, and there's a sense of like they're actually crying out in those choruses. And it's just lovely, you know. The structure of the track, you had, you know, the verse, bridge, chorus parts, and then you had the solos, a couple of guitar solos, the instrumental parts, you know. Lots to enjoy and appreciate within this 4 to 5 minute track. You know, there was no filler. No filler at any point. Kicked straight in with those guitar, bass, drums, and everything like that. And the synths, it was just wonderful. It treated the listener with so much respect. The instrumental performances, like in this live show, were just top notch. There wasn't a single note out of place. And even if there was, I couldn't have told. I was enjoying the vibe of it too much. They could have put 1,000 wrong notes and I wouldn't have cared, because if it sounded like this, then you enjoy it regardless, right? I think when you're at this level and a song is just beloved, you can sometimes fall into the trap of maybe realizing that what you've created is not you can't replicate it in a live situation just because it's so beloved in its studio form. But Wands have managed to do it incredibly well with both, and I'm just so proud of them for the way they performed. Finally, the studio, you know, recording, mixing, mastering, and all that. Again, for a live performance, it was wonderful. I have no complaints about the way it was done. You're never going to get the absolute pristine nature of a acoustically insulated studio environment, but the live show is meant to have the crowd involved in everything. It's meant to be a more natural, organic, authentic experience, and they captured that to a T. I've got no complaints. This is a wonderful song and a wonderful performance, and you know, I'm really glad that I could get to review it today. So thank you very much for watching the SP Members video of Before the World Ends by Wands. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, please do go show Wands some love via the various social medias, wherever they are located. I found this on YouTube. Thank you for the links in the lyrics as well. Stay cool and stay safe, and please remember to support your local musicians and artists at this point in time, as either help more than ever with all the crazy stuff going on in the world, and I will catch you in the next SP Members video. Spider hands up.